Dr. Deuk is responsible for fixing my neck, and I am in no pain right now. I have no neck pain. 3.5 years ago, I had pain building up in my neck for a long period of time, but I woke up one morning and I could not move my neck. After that, I saw a couple of neurosurgeons. They told me that I needed to have typical fusion surgery, and they explained to me the risks and leaving hardware in my neck and so forth, and I knew that was not for me. Well, the other neurosurgeons that I went to visit, it seems like they couldn't get me out of their office fast enough. They had other patients they had to see, they were in a hurry, and they told me what they thought I needed to hear in terms of what they could provide for me for surgery, and they didn't have anything else to say. It was hard because there was pain in the neck, constant pain, and there was pain in the hand from a pinched nerve, and it changed my life. You know, there was a lot of things I wasn't able to do. Couldn't grocery shop very much. Cleaning house, cleaning the boat, typical things were very difficult to do. And playing with my grandkids, swimming, sailing, a lot of things I was doing before I wasn't able to do anymore. I would continue to try to do things, but it would always end up causing a lot of pain, and then I'd be on the couch with ice. Well, when I went to my doctor, when I couldn't move my neck, he said, "You have a workers' comp claim." And he encouraged me to file with workers' comp. So I did, and they sent me to several doctors who sent me for MRIs and so forth, and then it was through them that I went to the other two neurosurgeons. But they had not had very much experience with Dr. Deuk because he was new to the area. So I would think for my workers' comp insurance company, I was probably the first patient that went through his office. And it was all very positive, and I think that they will continue to send patients through there. My first impression of Dr. Deuk was that he was very informative, and the first time I met him was at the seminar that I went to. And everyone there had a lot of questions, and he was very thoughtful and took his time answering them, and even said, "That's a very good question." He wasn't arrogant or speaking down to anybody or anything like that. He was very kind and took his time. He wasn't in a hurry. And he was the same way every time I met with him before the surgery and afterwards. He took his time. He wanted to know if he could answer any questions. He was very professional, very caring. He and his staff were very caring and compassionate. And he looked at my MRI and he said, "It would be a shame for you to have fusion. I can fix you." We arrived at Dr. Deuk's at 7 a.m. and the surgery was scheduled for 8. And I think I was back in recovery by about 9:30 or 10-ish. And as soon as I woke up, the neck pain and the hand pain were gone. The old pain was all gone. And my husband took me home. I was home by noon. And he put me to bed, and I held up a glass for him. I said, "Look, I can do it without pain in my hand." And I slept in my own bed that night. And I was on pain medication for about 2 days. And then one day I took a muscle relaxer, and then nothing after that. What was a concern to me about fusion was you're in the hospital for a few days having the actual surgery. They are going to leave hardware in your neck. The recovery is a long period of time. You're off work for a long time. Because they're leaving hardware in your neck, there's chances for subsequent surgeries. And none of that sounded like anything I wanted in my body. So with this surgery, there was no hardware, no loss of mobility, no hospital visit, just a tiny, tiny little incision right here. And the scarring's already starting to go away. I think that if it was a fusion surgery, I would have been off from work for 4 to 6 weeks. And with this surgery, the surgery was on Friday. I was back to work part-time from home on Wednesday and back in the office the following Tuesday full-time. If you're off that period of time, after 7 consecutive days, workers' comp only pays 60% of your salary. So I would, during that time I would be off, I would only be being paid 60% of my salary. But because this surgery was very short recovery time for me to be off from work, I lost no wages. The staff is wonderful. They're very kind and very caring. His surgical procedure coordinator, Karen, was awesome to work with. And both times I went and worked with the nurse there was Cindy, and she was very kind and caring and very helpful in getting me ready for the surgery and so forth. They're all very nice. So it's been about 16 days since my surgery, and now I can sit here and work all day long without any pain and go home and not have to sit on the couch and put ice on it. It's wonderful. It's very nice. It's nice to get back to work and not be in pain.